Hi guys, Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay guys, we're going to do another one of these mixed media pieces with a Disney princess in the middle. And this is the mixed media that we're going to do. What this is a piece of like 11 by 14 cardstock that I have collaged on a whole bunch of things. I collaged on a sky, some really cool little village. This is a stack of boxes, which I had to paint a little bit because I needed them to be different colors. Going to turn these into a waterfall. This is a watch over here, which will be a planet. So what you see what I'm saying? All these things that we're going to do, they're going to be turned into other things. So nothing's going to stay the same. This right here was something like a piece of a leather purse, something. That's going to be like a little bridge with people walking on it. This horse, I love it. I'm going to turn this horse into a unicorn. And I might throw in some more color into that horse. This right here is going to be a whole little world. All these watches. This is going to be another waterfall, and this down here is going to be turned into water, okay, and this up here is going to be a sky. So what we're going to end up with is something like, well, not exactly, because every world turns out differently, but I did Elsa, and I did a mixed media background, and did it the same way I just told you about the other one, and then I put my Disney princess in there. So when we're creating mixed media worlds or backgrounds to put my Disney princesses in. And I'm doing all of the Disney princesses. I collect them. I collect the Barbies. And so I'm drawing and painting all the Disney princesses, and then I'm creating these mixed media backgrounds to put the dolls in, to put the princesses in. So right now we're working on, what is her name? Here she is. I have Elsa on the brain because that's what I just did. Tiana. So I did Tiana. And when I do my Disney princesses, you guys, this is my interpretation. This is, if I was the one who came up with Tiana as a Disney princess, this is how I would have made her. So sometimes they're going to look more like the princess. Sometimes it's going to be more of what I think the princess should look like. It's my interpretation. So, so this is, I have this on, I have a video of this, probably right below this video, of how I colored her in. I already had drawn her, but how I colored her in with paint and watercolor and pencils. I use a whole mixed media thing, and you can see how I did that. Okay, so, but we'll be cutting her out and putting her into this world after we get done putting the paint all over this whole thing. Okay, so now that you guys know what direction we're going in, let's get started. Let's put that over there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to, up here, I want to put in, I love how the sky looks, but I do want to put in some more clouds, okay? So we're going to put some clouds in. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff in the sky, but I want to put some clouds in. And the last time I did one of these, I didn't show you how I did clouds, because there was enough clouds in the sky, just with the collage piece that I collaged in. So when I do clouds, I like to use kind of a stiffer brush. So this is a really stiff brush that I got. And it's kind of scruffy. It makes clouds really well, and it makes water really well. And I'm going to use some acrylic paints. So I'm going to use white right now. Kind of go over here. Okay, so we're going to start putting in some clouds. Oh, darn it. Just a second, people. I got paint on my hands. If I don't wipe it off, it'll end up everywhere. Okay. So we're going to throw in some clouds. Okay. You can also throw in clouds like this. And just leave them kind of puffy. You can take them then and you can go like this. Okay, and do them like that. You can do all kinds of things to these clouds. You can also take these clouds like that, and then kind of just flick down, and that looks like it's a little bit of rain coming down. So I'm going to do that to these. So over in this cloud over here, there's rain coming down. Okay. And we'll throw in another cloud over here. And over here we'll do another one like this. Okay. And we'll throw in another one down here that's kind of puffy. Okay. Maybe we'll take this one and we'll rub our hand on it. There we go. That looks good. All right. I'll just do another little one like that here. Okay. And we'll do a little puffer over here. Okay, so there's a few different ways to make clouds. And in fact, what I might do too, is I'll make some rain coming from this one. So if you use a scruffy brush, which means a brush that has a that's stiffer, you'll really be able to create those the clouds, the scruffy clouds, and bringing the rain down out of them too. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here with the same brush, and we're going to create water. So, just making sure I'm in frame. You guys can see the water. Yeah. Okay, so let's come down here and let's throw in some waves. It's kind of the same way I do clouds, but it's longer and they're more connected. Okay. Okay, so there we go. I'm liking that. Let me see if I just need to add a little bit more. That's good. I like that. Let me see how that looks in the camera too. So there's water. Now, a lot of times what I'll do is at the bottom, I may not have anything down here, but I'll use the colors that I have up in the sky, and I'll start, just my finger, I'll just start taking the colors in the sky and just going like this. In fact, you know what? I think I am going to do that. And you'll understand better what I'm saying. Just a second. This water looks good, but we need to add in still on top of the water. It needs to be more blended with some of the colors that are in the water here. But I always like to use the same colors in the sky in the water. So it's like the sky is reflecting down into the water. So let me get some colors out here. Just a second. Okay. So this is the paint I'm using here, this Craft Smart. Then I got some folk art. The main thing is just whatever acrylic paint, that's what you need to use. Oh, and I didn't mention this. This is really super important. I'm just getting all my colors on my tray right now. When you collage down all your pieces, just a second. When you collage down all your pieces, you want to collage them down with a thing called matte medium. You can use the one by Liquitex. You can use, there's another brand. Michael's, I think Joanne sells this and Michael sells a different brand. You need a matte medium. You can glue down your collage pieces down. And then after you're done with that, this is what's really important. Take this matte medium and put it all over on the top of the pieces after you collage them down. Because, hopefully this comes out. You want to do that because it makes it a paintable surface. Also, if you paint something on top of the matte medium and you don't like it, you can just wipe it off. So it makes it wipeable too. So there we go. And I like this pink color. I think, no, let's do this. This magenta color. Okay. So I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to start rubbing in some color down here in the water. I just feel like it needs a little bit more, even on top of the water. It needs a little bit more. And I'm going to use my finger. I'm just wiping in color. I always keep a little baby wipe next to me. The baby wipe is good to wipe your fingers off. It can also be used in techniques too. So I could possibly do some baby wipe techniques. We'll see. See, this is turning out so pretty already. I'm loving it because it needed a little bit more color mixed up with, I don't like that color, mixed up with the white for the waves. It needed a little bit more. Okay, like I told you that you can use this as technique. So I'm taking this baby wipe and I'm just going to go like this so it blends it out a little bit more. I didn't want it to be quite that solid right there. And you just keep doing this kind of stuff until it looks right. And the thing is, when you use that matte medium, you don't have to be afraid. So if you feel like you got a little bit too much here or there, you can just wipe it completely away, wipe it away a little bit. I love it. This is looking so pretty. Okay. So let me look at this now and see what I think. I like it. I'm going to add a little bit of white now again for the water. Just a little bit here and there. There we go. And the paint's a little bit wet right now, so it's kind of nice. The white will mix in with the white will mix in with the paint that you just laid down, so kind of all blends a little bit nicer and better. Okay. And we'll mix a little bit of purple right in here. Purple here. A little bit more white. Sorry if I just was using my arm and blocking you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, I think that looks good. Love it. Love, 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 love. I think that looks good. Actually, I feel like I need a little bit more white here and there. Okay, so there we go. We have our water in there. Okay, let me see what you guys are seeing. So there's the water. So the water is the color of the sky. So we have that sky reflecting down into the water. That's what I like to do. You don't have to. You can make this water completely blue, like blue and white. You can do whatever you want to do. But this is what kind of thing I like to do. Okay, so now we have our sky in. We have that in. I do want to throw in the sky here. I want to work on this for a while. I want to put in some planets, some stars, some shooting stars. I love to do all that kind of stuff. So how I do those is, let me look at my time situation. Okay, 13, we're doing great on time. Okay, I'm going to take some Apple Barrel white acrylic paint. If you want to know a cheap way to get paints, I think it's Apple Barrel. These Apple Barrel paints are always 50 cents at Walmart. Now, even cheaper, when Michael's has their paints, they'll be $3 or $4 and they're Craft Smart paints. What I like to do, I like to get every color they have when they're $4 or $3 and get like 3 shades deep. So 3 different shades of pink, 3 shades of purple. And that way, when you want to do artwork like this, or any type of mixed media, you have plenty of paint and plenty of colors. So that's what I do. I don't do that right now because I got way too much acrylic paint. But anyway, if you're looking to, up your acrylic paint. Okay, so I'm making little planets with my paint, with my white paint. let's just work on those two. I'm going to put a couple more in, but let's just work on those because I need to work with them wet. So I'm going to use my colors that I have here, that I use in the water. And I just want to dab a little bit of paint here, dab a little bit there, dab a little here, dab a little here. I have this color too. Okay, I feel like I need a little bit of blue, like a blue like that color, so I'm going to add that in here. Just a second. One thing I hate is these paint bottles always are clogged up. Never can get the darn paint out. Okay. So also, let's just throw in a little bit of blue here and there. Okay, so then what I like to do is I like to just go ahead and go like this and start blending it all together like that, so that it's more of a mesh. Okay. Yeah, I like that, but I want it to be a little bit more rounded here. So let's just remove a little bit of, if you come out of the little circle too much, just kind of cut it back with your thing here. That looks really pretty. Okay, let's do another one of those, like right here. Okay, and we'll do one over here. Yeah, perfect. All right, so again, take your finger and your index finger and just start pouncing in some color. I'm going to pounce in some over here. Okay, and then let's put up some of this pink color in. Okay. And if you think you can't paint, look at this, you guys. I'm using so much finger painting. You can do this. You can easily do this. I just showed you how to do water with just your fingers. Easy. And I learned this technique of using collage and paint from Dee Willingham, and I learned it a couple years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. I love it. I love this technique to create backgrounds for my girls that I draw, and right now for my Disney princesses. Okay, this one right here needs more white in it, but also I have too much paint on in there. So let me just take some of this out. After I take some of it out, it may work perfect. Yep, it did. Okay. That looks good. I think I'm liking them all. Okay. It's funny, I'm seriously saying, I like how I meshed that. That meshing looks good. Okay. I sound crazy. Yeah, those look good. All right, so then what I like to do is go back to my white acrylic paint. And I like to use a liner brush like this. And I get this liner brush at Michael's. Let me come in just a little bit more on these planets so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me come up a little bit, bring it back so you can see there. Okay. These are probably like, they're not cheap. They're like maybe, I don't know, $6, $7. But use a coupon so you can spend $4 or $5 on it. And it's, like I said, it's just a liner brush. And I use this liner brush a lot. I absolutely love it. I only own 2 of them. I really should buy a couple more just in case, you know, something happens to this one. Because I use it all the time. So what I do is I just want to make like a little circle around here. And it kind of will frame in white. It will frame your planet. At the same time, don't try to be too perfect about it, be a little bit messy about it. So you can have thick and thin lines going around the planet. It just keeps it looking a little bit more natural. When you try to make it too perfect, when you outline it in white, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look natural. So just be kind of messy about it. Like right there, I didn't even end up connecting it up at the end. Okay. Like right there, I skipped a little bit right there. Perfect. There we go. And then over here, same thing. Okay, perfect. So, loving that. Then, next thing I want to do is let's do, you know what, let's go ahead and make a bunch of stars. Okay, by just wetting the white paint and using the fan brush and flicking. You can use a regular paintbrush and do the flicking. You can use a toothbrush. There's a lot of ways, but anyway, take your white paint, water down with a little bit of water, and let's flick. I want to flick all this sky here, so we get a bunch of little stars going over the planets. And some of it's gonna go, I'm gonna flick everywhere because I love this. And it's either gonna, now here, instead of planets, to me this looks like snow. And I love it. So let's flick the white paint all the way down to here. Okay. Love it. Okay. Bam. Done. Planets up in here are done. Snow down in the water and everywhere else is done. Quick, quick, quick. I love it. I have some big drops here that I don't want there. So we'll get rid of those big drops. Okay. All right, so now, let me wipe this clean. All right, so next I'm going to do some stars. We're going to do some shooting stars, some bigger shooting stars. I might throw some lightning in. So here we go. So first let's do some regular just shooting stars. Okay, I like to go to... Just checking my time, you guys. Okay, you know what? We're at 23 minutes. So what we'll do is I'll show you how I do the shooting stars on part 2. So let's go ahead and end this session, and you guys head over to part 2, okay? See you in a minute.